Are peach rings a thing? Like, is that the new thing?
Let me tell you, like, after that episode, I was like, "Ooh, I can go for some peach rings."
And did you get them?
I have not gotten them yet,
Yeah, you
no.
survived. You're good. This was months ago.
I'm very susceptible to advertising, so
Like product placement is made to make you want things. But when product placement is done really well, you're just like, damn, gotta get some peach rings.
what's going on, everyone? I am Phil, along here with Joe.
Hey Phil, hey everybody.
So we are talking, the back half of Wonder Man Season 1, so episodes 5 through 8. If you wanna see our wrap up of the first 4 episodes, you can go here or here. So, episode 5 start is I think it's called Found Footage,
That's right.
um, and it takes place almost immediately after episode 3, um, which I was kinda surprised about. Uh, like, it feels like like Pacoima takes place, like, much later in the series, but it's only, like it's not even, like, the halfway point.
No, yeah. And I think that they wanted to pick up right at where that one left off because Doorman was such a break of an episode. I mean, it's important to like that was a real they were having a real moment at the end of the third episode. So like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's important to like not let that go. And also, what happens in the next two episodes is that basically Simon is sleep deprived, and it has a big effect on what happens. Um, and it's important to not think that we're starting with him fresh and free, but like, I mean, basically when he goes in for that callback, he has not slept for the callback in episode 6. He has not slept since going to his mother's party.
yeah.
Like he's been up that whole time. So um, it's important to remember that.
So, they're kinda, like they're kinda celebrating that they got a call back, in a bar.
This scene of them celebrating the bar um, is where Trevor gives us box breathing, which of course is a classic
Yeah,
coping mechanism. And we were just talking about it before we started filming because I was like, all right, I got ready. Gotta get ready. Gotta do my box breathing. But this is where he does it in the series. And they have a real moment in this at this restaurant or wherever they are, because Simon is still freaking out about
yeah,
like the anxiety is already kicked in. The high is already gone. He's already worried about knowing his lines and like who his character is and all that background stuff. And we get reinforcement again from Trevor that he should be here now. He should be living in the moment. He says he said this one line where he says, that really got to me. He's like, "We are the actors who are supposed to be in the moment. Let us celebrate this moment." And he says, "Fill your cup." And I was like, "Yes, fill your cup." That's great. But yes, then Trevor's past catches up with him.
yeah. I think it's funny that the person buys them drinks first.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a move where you're like, "That guy owes me some money. I'm gonna buy him a drink."
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a real class act if you're for shaking people down. Um, but it's one of those moves where I imagine it leaves people, it gets them real comfortable right before you put them in a
Yeah.
real awkward situation.
I guess it makes sense, like, if you don't like, if you know you if you know that you owe them money and you see them across the bar, like, you might be inclined to run, but if they buy you a drink, then you're like, "Oh, maybe we're cool."
Yeah, maybe he's okay with how much money I owe him. Did you recognize the actor?
I didn't know.
So I forget his name, but he was an actor back in the day, like around I'm going to say specifically the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back era, because he's in that. And he was in a lot of movies like that. And he was a guy that was like, just average dude. And he had wild hair. Like in this movie, or in Wonder Man, he's got like a ponytail pulled back, but he had just wild hair. So it was kind of like a thing. And other than that, the only thing I know about him is that he was married at that time to Shannon Elizabeth, and he was in all her movies too. I mean, but he did his own thing. He was fine. Uh, when I saw him here, I was like, oh, it's a gray hair version of that guy. I was like, oh, good for him. So he's in the MCU, and Shannon Elizabeth isn't. So
Yeah. Um, it reminds me, like, because in the Ultimates universe, when they did Ultimates, which is their version of the Avengers, they had Brian Hitch draw it, and I think Shannon Elizabeth is in that.
who is she supposed to be? Like,
No, she's like literally Shannon Elizabeth is like
she
is
like
in the
dating
comic.
Tony Stark or something?
She might be
Or
dating Tony Stark, actually.
I mean, that tracks. That's
Yeah,
for the time period. Sure,
yeah.
good for him. I mean, bad
Um,
for this actor because he was actually married to her at the time. Whatever.
but yeah, they like he does a shakedown in like the back alley, where Simon uses his powers.
First action sequence of the series.
Yeah, tosses people around.
Yep.
It's cool.
Yeah. And then they get spotted by uh, a like a guy on a bike who,
Yeah.
whenever they're looking for him, he gives them a little ding ding, like that bell goes off. But so basically, someone spots Simon using his powers, and they get paranoid, and they're like, "We got to get this guy." So they go try and track him down, and this leads to another great moment. I had to say, when I saw found footage for the first time, I wasn't connected with the episode so much. I was just like, "Oh, this is fine, whatever." And then there were a couple moments this time through. I was like, "Oh, this is a great episode. This is like so good." I think part of the reason I didn't connect the first time through is this episode is really short. It's like I
It
think it's the
flies
shortest
by.
of the bunch. Yeah, it flies by. But anyway, there's this moment where they're in the car and they're stuck in traffic, and Simon says, like Trevor's just like talking nonsense and whatever. Trevor's being up Trevor, and Simon's like, you gotta focus up. And he's like, on what? I'm not driving. He's like, and Simon says, look around, look for things. And he does, Trevor does, and he's like, "Hey, there's the guy." he says, "What do you know? Looking around works." And that seemed to be a fascinating reverse of where they've been. Simon was
Mhm.
basically saying to Trevor, "Be in the moment, like, like stop just like being everywhere and be here," which is what Trevor says to Simon all the time. So I thought that was a fascinating kind of spin on it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they find the guy and then they track him down to this club. I mean, the
It's a
long story
weird
short, yeah. uh, long story short, the guy is blackmails them to go do do something for him, so they
yeah.
they can get the tape back.
Yeah, so, um, he's blackmailing Simon and Trevor to help him get his bike back, in exchange for destroying the footage, which he says, will automatically upload to YouTube at 9 AM, I think is what he says. Or maybe I'm
It's
thinking of our update schedule because I have it set to update at 9 AM.
and of course, a lot of people watching this will be like, "Oh, that's not possible." But to me, I was like, "Oh, that sounds terrifying and legit." I'm sure he could do that, but no.
Yeah.
But they have a good laugh
Um,
about it later.
but they go to so I think the guy's who's blackmailing, his name is Jaden, I think, right?
That's not right. Yeah.
Um, so they go to the house where his bike's at. And I think it's really interesting that Simon's first instinct to to deal with the situation is act his way out of it.
Oh, right. He's like, "All right, we're these type of we're cops, and this is our mission, and this is our
Yeah,
backstory." Trevor's like, "You have a backstory for this already?" But I mean, that's you'll see that later in the series too. Like, he always falls back to what he knows and what he's comfortable with, and that is acting. I
yeah.
mean, you'll see in the callback episode, he's real comfortable with scenes that he already knows.
But I think it's going to be like an interesting contrast to like where he is at the end of the series. They get like outed almost immediately because they recognize Trevor.
Right away, door opens, girl's like, "Hey, Jaden, the Mandarin's here." And they bring him in. He's like, "Oh my god, it is the Mandarin." And he's like, "We used to uh, recite your lines to intimidate people in middle school." And I forget what he says. I don't know what the line is, but he does the full on impersonation, and it's great.
um, and like they think uh that there's some sort of illegal operation that they're making drugs. But it ends up just being peach rings.
Are peach rings a thing? Like, is that the new thing?
Let me tell you. like, after that episode, I was like, "Ooh, I can go for some peach rings."
And did you get them?
I have not gotten them yet,
Yeah, you
no.
survived. You're good. This was months ago.
I'm very susceptible to advertising, so, like, every time, like, when I watched Zombieland, I was like, I could go for a Twinkie right now." But I had not had a Twinkie in, like, decade, probably, but, like, one right after Zombieland.
Like product placement is made to make you want things. But when product placement is done really well, you're just like, damn, gotta get some peach rings.
Yeah.
The cops come to bust the place, even though they're only making peach rings.
Yeah, well, because their
It's
neighbor rats him out.
right, yeah. They're making drugs in there. And he's like, "This is Kim, I promise."
"We're just making candy."
But that's how the episode ends pretty much, like, it really does. That's a the found
Yeah,
footage.
they get or Simon gets a phone call that, um, they pushed up the callback, and they need to get to this address, like, immediately,
Right,
which is
and
good
that's what
because the cops bust in and they got get the hell out of there.
that leads into callback, which was my favorite of the back half of the episodes in my first time through. Um, it all takes place at the mansion of the director of the film,
Von Kovac?
Von Kovac, who, of course, is played by the evil dictator from Superman.
Yes. The
And
evil
he's got
dead dictator from Superman. I
is
guess
he
spoilers for
yeah,
Superman.
I guess spoilers for Superman. Completely different energy here. Wonderful performance from him. But he has gathered his top 3 choices for Simon and
Barnaby.
the el what is it? Bartleby?
Barnaby, yeah.
Barnaby. So, for those 2 roles, and he's gonna have them sort of, like, flesh it out together in a group callback. It's very funny because it's established right away that Simon is sleep deprived and going a little crazy, and he goes in there. He's super nervous. He's a mess when he gets in there, and kind of all hell breaks loose. It's a great scene. I mean, it's just one long scene basically, but it is very good.
Yeah. I like when they get to Von Kovac's house, Simon's like, "There's only one pair of shoes out here.
It's
Is this
very
a
good.
shoes on household or a shoes off household?"
They talk about that for a full minute. When someone comes to get them, and she's like, "Follow me," and they're like, "Does she have shoes on?" He's like, "I forgot to look."
I like that they cut immediately to her, like a shot of her walking, like from the knees down, but she's wearing like a long flowing like pants,
You
like
can't.
that you can't see her feet.
It makes me want to go everywhere I go just to carry an extra pair of shoes and leave them outside, just to mess with people's heads to see because even though you wouldn't be able to see it properly, it would mess with people.
So, I'd watched this episode before the Super Bowl, and during the Super Bowl, I had people over, and I considered putting a pair of shoes outside.
Fantastic. I love it. So Von Kovac is unorthodox. He says, let's ignore the thing you guys have been prepping for the past whatever, and let's just do some fun improv." And it's not just like normal improv. He'll say like, uh, he'll pair 2 people up and he'll be like, "Your character is in love with this guy, but you've been cheating on them and you don't have eyelashes, so you're always squinting." Things like that. And it's like, "Oh, okay." And you know what? We get to see Trevor as Bartleby go with one of the other 2 Simons. They go first, and it's great. Um, the one guy is really using the space well, and like he takes it to other rooms, and everybody's like, "Oh, we're going to another room. Let's go." But he's real forceful and powerful. And then Trevor, or I guess we should say Sir Ben Kingsley, gives this performance of just like really reserved and like really calming. And I was amazed what he was able to do with so little. And then I was like, oh, it's Ben Kingsley. That's what. And then I started to imagine what it was like for all these other actors, like everybody in that room, to spend this amount of time with Ben Kingsley and to sort of have to be like good actors. Hi, I'm an actor and I'm playing a good actor in this scene.
You are like the best actor.
I'm playing what you are. um, and you have Ben Kingsley, who's also playing a good actor who just happens
Yeah.
to be a former terrorist. But so yeah, I was really uh, I was really interested in the dynamic there. And I started to think about it outside of the show, but like yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should go back a little bit, to the actual, like, opening of this episode, which is, I guess, Trevor's last callback, is
Oh,
which was
for the Mandarin.
for the Mandarin, yeah, and, um, I don't know how quickly, you realized it was that because, like, I think he's obviously drunk in that recording, and he's like, I think he says, "Make mine Maybelline" at one point.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's Jägermeister, but then, like, they give him the real role that he's reading for, and you get to kinda see, like, him building the Mandarin character, which is kinda cool to go back
Really
there.
cool. Yeah. And it's just one of the like dozens of ways they remind you that who he was and where he came from, and that everybody still remembers who he is. Uh, yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's good building, especially towards what happens at the end.
Yeah, but we also get a scene of Simon with, one of the other, potentials for Barnaby, um, and does not go great.
Well, here's the thing. I thought it went great because he delivers this impassioned, sort of fiery speech, um, not sort of playing off the guy, but sort of like taking over the scene. But it was really, really good. It was really well performed. And then everyone's like, okay, stop. And the guy's like, you can't, I'm disappointed in you. And I was like, why? What did he do? And I didn't realize, but of course he was,
Doing a scene from Pretty Woman?
yeah, he was just doing a scene from Pretty Woman. I mean, maybe as he was doing it, I was like, oh, this is kind of like that scene from Pretty Woman. But I didn't realize it was the scene from Pretty Woman.
Yeah,
I've seen
and
Pretty
it
Woman enough. I should have picked up on it.
and, like, this kinda goes back to, found footage where he's like, I'm gonna do something I already know."
Yeah,
Like, where is it? Because that one scene, he was, I don't know, like, was it SVU or whatever? Like, he was a cop and
right.
when
It's
you're
one
trying
of
to,
the Law and Orders. Yeah. No,
yeah,
he's just getting into his comfort zone. Like, this is what I know. Like, because he must have been. I mean, it's clear that he was panicking, and he's just like, I know this, so I'll go into this and I'll do this, and it'll be good. And it was good. It just Von Kovac was like, I'm disappointed in you. That's not what I wanted, basically.
yeah,
But it is only the midpoint of the show. There's still more to come.
yeah. Is the dream sequence next?
Yeah, I think it is. There's definitely a dream sequence where he's like, I want another shot.
I mean, so, like, I don't I feel like what was happening in that scene, like, with his scene partner, is what Von Kovac would have wanted if it
Sure.
weren't a real dream, like, if it weren't a dream, like, because Simon's really just reacting to what his scene partner is saying, and it's kinda striking a nerve with him because it's talking about his childhood and how he calls him a freak at one point, and
Yeah.
I think Simon has really internalized all of that, which is why um, he can't be in the moment. It's him, like, trying to put up this facade of, being another character and all that stuff, um, and
Well,
then
he
he punches the guy through the
punches
head.
the guy right through his face. You get to see the whole thing, and you get to see people react to it too.
Yeah.
It's a nice long extended moment before they're like, "Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
JK, it was just a dream." But yeah, I mean, he punches like, and you get to see it through. Boom. Um, but it's true. Like Simon is very much like it comes down to he's afraid people will find out who he really is, and he's trying to keep those walls up so that no one finds out that he's a superhero. He's afraid that people will find out, and that's what that confrontation really was. Like the guy calls him a freak. He's like, we all know your secrets. We were talking about it while you were in the other room, things like that. So he's bugging out. He's freaking out.
Yeah. Um, like, for a split second, I was like, "How is he gonna get out of this
Yeah,
before they revealed it was a dream?"
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too about Simon in the comics. He starts as a villain. So like
Yeah.
could there be something here in found footage episode? He could have been busted by those cops for what I do not know. But you know,
Pretending to be a cop.
or pretend yeah, that's true. Yeah, he did break the law. But like when does his villain arc begin? Could it begin with him punching a guy straight through the face? Sure. Yeah, but no. It was just a dream. And he this episode does come with redemption too, which is great.
Yeah. Um, like, so I think the next scene is Trevor kinda pulling Simon aside and kinda giving another pep talk about, like, you know, being in the moment.
I mean, yeah, he needs to hear it one more time. And then what happens again? How does he win them over exactly? Because he does do a scene with Trevor. Well, they do the scene from that's in the actual script.
Yeah. And I
It's
I do like the fact that we only ever get to see this one scene of this entire movie, like, in this series.
we see it like
Because like,
3
it
times though.
well, they 'cause I think we get the sides for it and, at the beginning of the episode, and Simon is trying to run these sides with Trevor in the car, and he's like, "What is it? How do you like? What do you think of this way? What do you think of that way?"
Right, yeah,
And like we see it again here at this point in the episode, and then we actually get to see it like being filmed in the next episode.
that's right,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, uh, but I just think it's funny that it's just the one scene.
It's such an important scene though. It is I mean, we should say it's more important later, but and it's more important in one of the other times we see it being performed, but it is a scene about how Bartleby has Barnaby has turned on Simon or yeah, Barnaby has turned on Wonder Man. And basically he's like, everyone has a price and they found mine, and I hope you don't live long enough to find your price, basically. And that means a lot towards how Simon sees Trevor, in just a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we do find out that Von Kovac has picked Simon and Trevor as his Wonder Man and Barnaby. Um, and obviously that's going to happen because the series is called Wonder Man, and if they didn't get the parts,
Can you imagine if you were following the wrong guys the whole time?
there's 2 other episodes. What are these 2 episodes going to be about?
Well, the next episode is called Kathy Friedman. And Kathy Friedman is a reporter for the New York Times, I think. And she is scheduled to come and shadow them and then interview them the next day. And when they hear this, they're very excited. But Simon, again, is also super anxious because Kathy Freeman is known to sabotage people. Or I forget what Simon says exactly, but basically it's a hit piece. Like she's going to take everybody down. She's going to find out all their dirty secrets. And that's Simon's biggest secret is that he has a secret. That's his whole character. He's like, I have a secret that I don't want anyone to know. I'm a superhero too. So he's afraid she's going to find that out. So it becomes a very tense situation for him. But what's great is that we also get to see them in full ramp up for the movie. Like they're
Yeah,
preparing to film, they're doing costume tests, and they're going over scripts. We get to see a little bit of Simon from episode 1, where he's like, I want to have that meeting with the writer and the director about that one scene. And he's nitpicking everything. He's like, but he's not.
yeah,
He's like, it's just that one line. And in that scene where he's in the maker chair and Trevor's in there too, but Simon's talking to the director and the writer, and he's just like, this one line doesn't feel good to me. But it's then things start to unravel for the director. He's like, none of this is working now. Like, I don't know how I feel about any of this. And Trevor, the true superhero of this show, looks over at them and says, what if the line was just said this way? And the writer's like, that works for me. And Simon's like, I like that. And the director's like, oh, okay, let's try it. So Trevor is like, he's like Jiminy Cricket or he's just watching out for him because it could have been a situation. It could have blown up the way that episode of, what was he in the beginning?
Oh, was it American
American
Horror
Pie?
Story?
Yeah. Yeah. It could have blown up in that same way, and it did, and Trevor stopped it from happening, which I thought was great.
Yeah, yeah. Um, we do get to see Simon kind of like not being a dick per se, but like he's like, "Oh, I am the star now. Like I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask for things." Like he's very much like taking on that role. Like,
yeah. The perks of
um,
being the star, yeah, like, someone's like, do you want someone to bring you a protein drink?" He's like, "Yeah. Can I get some bacon too?"
um, which all changes when Kathy Friedman shows up.
It does. He flips on that real fast.
But the thing I like the most about the whole Kathy Friedman section, because Trevor like gives him some advice before Kathy Friedman shows up, and he's like, like be personable, like talk to the crew and all that stuff. And we see him trying to talk to the crew, but like he is very bad at it.
Yeah, he doesn't have any social skills in that way. Like, Trevor is sort of charming and a very much a people person. You see him throughout the whole episode and even throughout the whole series being like when Simon's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have this turkey. Do you want it, Trevor?" And Trevor's like, I can't for X, Y, and Z. But how about you, Luca? It's your lucky day." And Luca's the guy that brought the turkey. So like, or the turkey bacon. But anyway, so he's like that. He says, and one of the things he says is use people's first names, but it's all Simon doesn't talk to people. Simon doesn't. I mean, he's got serious social skills issues, as we all do.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably due to the fact that he's been hiding himself
yeah,
his entire life.
sure.
Um, so yeah, he's not very good at talking to other people. Not natural at all. He couldn't even act his way out of it.
Kathy Friedman shows up and follows him around, and it's funny. We get to see them both being very sort of nervous, and we get to see Trevor being nervous, charming. It all is very good. When things really come to a head is at the end of the episode. She comes back to do the interview, and Simon finds out that she has spoken with people in his world. Like, she's like, "Is there anyone you want to talk to besides obviously your ex-girlfriend and your mother?" Anyway, he finds out that she talked to his mother and to his brother, and he's terrified about that because he knows his brother's been so down on everything that he's been doing. And one of the best moments of the show, the whole series, is when she reveals this woman who plays Kathy Friedman is like, "He had nothing but good thing to say, blah, 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 blah. He's so proud of you." And I was like, "Oh," like, it felt so good.
Yeah. I mean, it kinda speaks to, like, how we saw him in Pacoima, and I had mentioned that, in our previous, review of the first 4 episodes, that, like, that Simon's brother is his villain in
Yeah,
that episode. So I think Simon always thinks of him as his villain, so in his mind, like, his brother has nothing but horrible things to say about him.
sure. Yeah. It certainly would be someone that would out him for having powers, which goes back to just everything that Simon's worried about. But
Yeah.
it's a really great moment. There's another great moment in this episode before the final, but, I think this is the one where he gets the glasses. He'd been doing a little back and forth with the wardrobe people, and they're like, "What do you think about these glasses? We gotta update from the original." He's like, "No, let's get as close to the original as we can." But eventually, as you say in the last episode, the guy comes back and says, or Simon's like, "How close are these new ones to the original?" And he's like, "These are the original. Like, these are the ones that the guy wore in the '80s or '90s or whatever." And it's just so special because that character was so important to his dad, and them sharing it was so important to them both. So to have that is amazing, and to know that those are the same glasses that he's wearing at the premiere, presumably, and at the very end is amazing. I love that little touch.
Yeah. Um, but before we get to the last episode, there's a couple things I wanna mention. One is the return of Olivia Thirlby.
Yeah,
Um, I was glad to see she came back, because she's a great actor. Uh, and, like, they have this conversation because like, he's really asked her out, to see, "What did you say about me?" to Kathy
right.
Friedman.
That's all he wants to know. Yeah.
We find out, like, she knew that he had powers, and, like, she was just waiting for him to open up to her.
Yeah.
Uh, so they could get closer together, but that never happened. So they broke up, which is unfortunate for
Another
both Simon
example
and us.
of his terrible social skills too is in that moment, it was a real moment for them to share, like, they could really share with each other, and he doesn't. Like, she talks about how she got a j like, she was gonna leave town, but she got a job as an actress. Um, and he knows how important that is, and he immediately turns it around to talking about how important his job is as an actor. Like,
Yeah,
on one how cool and crazy it is to be Wonder Man. When all he needed to do was just show a little interest in what she was. Oh, she's got a job on Severance. So that's
yeah,
crazy. I don't know. So he blows that because his social skills are a mess.
yeah. But speaking of blowing things, uh, so after the so Kathy Friedman is interviewing Simon and Trevor, and she mentions that Trevor's been arrested. Like like when he came back to the U.S., he got arrested, and
He says, "That
you know,
doesn't
how
sound
are you
right."
still
She's got the receipts though.
how are you still walking around? So Trevor confides in, or I guess confesses to Simon that he has been working for Department of Damage Control. They're looking after or trying to get something on Simon, um, and that he's going to try to fix it. Which is when everything comes to a head. He loses control and he blows up a building.
He walks off to take a moment. He walks into an empty studio and it explodes. It's kind of
Yeah,
cool. We were talking in the last episode about how you get these little tastes of these powers. In this one, you get a big taste of it. You get to see how powerful he really is, which is interesting. And it looks cool. It's really neat.
yeah. But then the final episode, we actually do open with the flashback that you mentioned earlier with his dad going to see Wonder Man in the theater, and it seemed like it was a re-release because like his dad talks about like watching it before.
Right. Almost like
Um,
he watched it when he was a kid, almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you have this like real nice like father son moment.
Yeah. He's dropping him off at school and it like Simon hasn't gotten out of the car yet. And his dad's like, "Oh, that's a real bad cough." And Simon's like, "What?" Which is great. You know, he needs the day. He needs to, because he had been bullied the day before.
Yeah,
And they go to the movies and they go to get burgers and they talk about Wonder Man. And he talked about, uh, how good Simon was in the school play that he did. And his dad sort of plants the seed that you could do this. You could be a great actor. Like, you're you're like, I'm not just saying that because that's what dads say, but, like,
yeah.
for real. Yeah. So
But this
cool.
this is also the scene where his dad was like, I tried to get a pair of those glasses
Oh,
because they were so
yeah.
cool."
Yeah. Well, Simon's got him
Um,
that.
yeah. But we I guess we return to the present day, and we're kind of dealing with the aftermath of the explosion in the previous episode.
Simon assumes that the cops are coming for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna do a Silence of the Lambs. They kind of did, but, like, not as they didn't go as far with that as Silence of the Lambs did, where, like, they see you don't see the police go up to the door and you think it's they're knocking down Simon's door.
Right.
They cut it, like
I mean, it definitely feels like that's what they were trying to do. Like,
yeah,
because it cuts between Simon talking on the phone with Trevor and, police running up to, you know,
yeah.
bang on the door.
I
But it's
mean,
not
it was
they were
almost there, but not quite.
yeah. So it turns out that Trevor went full he volunteers to take the blame, but not like, "Hey, I'll take this one." More like, "I have taken this one, and there's nothing you can do about it." He has gone full Mandarin and put out a video taking responsibility for the explosion, um, and then waiting for the cops to arrive, and when they knock on the door and he opens it up and says, "What took you guys so long?" And he's got his hands up and just rings. Just ring.
Wings for days.
It was great. I loved it.
So, like, watching that again, where did he get the rings? Where did he get the robe? Where did he where did he get how did he edit the footage?
Yeah.
that
Well,
he sends out to the news outlets.
the 3 things you mentioned are the easiest things, the things he did, 'cause and, there's a final example that shows that he was clearly hustling. But those 3 things, costume jewelry, wardrobe, and production, you just he knows people. He could be like, "Hey, I need you to shoot this for me," or he knows how to run a camera. He knows how to do all that stuff. And it's true, maybe he didn't have Mandarin outfits around, but he knows where to get them. So he got that together real quick. The thing that got me is that, they're taking him out and they're saying on the news, like, "And bombs were found in his apartment." And I was like, "Bro went to work." He's like, "I gotta make this look legit."
Well, okay, so, uh, I guess 3 episodes ago, they didn't know that you couldn't upload, a YouTube video automatically from a GoPro camera. How how did you cut
Yeah,
together that video,
and
like,
putting it out there, yeah, that's true.
but, like, with the 10 Rings logo,
Yeah.
like, it's very professional. Did he hire somebody on Fiverr to do that for him?
The guy's like, "What's this for?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it."
I just need it in 10 hours.
Whatever he did, it works, and part of it could be that, like, it's almost like Damage Control. You see the main guy from Damage Control and, like, another guy talking, and they're like, "A get is a get. It doesn't matter that it wasn't the one we were after." They just they need a mark in the books that said they got somebody. So, like, they might not care about the details as long as they've got somebody.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I don't know that we mentioned in any of the other, episodes, we get kinda, like, flashbacks of Damage Control where they're kind of getting their funding cut, like, they're in danger of going away or at least, like, getting smaller and, like, losing people.
Yes.
So, this whole, like, Simon Williams Mandarin thing, like, it was kind of this agent's, efforts to try to bolster up their
Yeah.
credibility, I guess,
Yeah.
and it works.
It works, yeah. And they're gonna be a major player going forward, presumably. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, um, but I like how, when we find all this the Mandarin stuff out, a PA knocks on Simon's door and he's like, "Uh, Von Kovac doesn't miss a shoot day, so you gotta come in?"
It's good. They get right back to the business of show.
We see the
Oh,
scene the one scene
yeah,
being filmed.
right, and he's not acting to anybody. He's acting to a tennis ball and a woman
Yeah,
reading it off the screen. But then in the final film, like, they're at the premiere and they're watching it on the screen. They're watching the rest of it play out, and it's Joey Pants is playing part of me.
stole
Unbelievable.
Trevor's role again.
Here's the thing too, he's not that good, like, in that moment, which is crazy because Joe Pantoliano is a wonderful actor. But for
Yeah.
whatever reason, he just, like, delivers his lines and then just kinda walks away. I was like, "No, this isn't good."
I don't like I kinda wondered why, like, I mean, I know why they did Joey Pants for that scene
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
as a callback, but, like, wouldn't you have gone with, like, one of the other 2 actors that you brought in for a callback?
Yeah, that's true. They didn't have a chance. Um, and Joey Pants was thirsty for that role too, right? Um, it's funny because Trevor asked Simon who did get the role, and he names 2 names. I think he says Pierce Brosnan. So I'm like, "No." Is there something else? I was like, "No, no. You don't wanna know."
Um, but, like, I like how they I think they fit in every Wonder Man costume
Yeah.
in the series. So it's the
Yeah.
green one in the '80s, movie, it's the black one, uh, when he was filming, and
From the
then you get
90s,
him
I
in
know.
um,
Like a
the
leisure
red
suit. Yeah.
yeah, the red
Yeah.
coat with glasses.
Looks great. He looks great in that
Yeah.
outfit. Yeah. We get everything. Yeah. So the movie's a hit, and they're like, "What's next?" And he's like, "I have an idea." And then we cut to he's shadowing a working man, or he's trying to convince a working man that he should shadow him, and he does. And he's following this guy through his life, and you find out that the guy's kind of on hard times. They don't say what he does, but it's almost like his job sucks. It's dangerous. It's mysterious. That sort of thing. It's a wonderful 10 minutes of unraveling what's happening. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to say it, but, like, I love that sequence of him
Yeah,
having
it was
dinner with
great, like,
him. Yeah,
'cause you really don't know what, at the beginning of that sequence, like, what this is.
right.
I mean, it gets slowly revealed to you throughout the sequence. It is, Simon, trying to infiltrate Department of Damage Control's, like, holding facilities.
Yeah. What does it say on the door? It says DC something, right?
I think it's DODC, Department of Damage Control.
Okay. DODC. I don't know what it is, but, like, I'm a comic nerd from way back, so when I see DC, I don't think of damage control.
You're
And
like, "Superman?"
I thought, "What are you guys hiding in there?" They got the bat. They got him.
But, like, I love how this sequence kinda contrasts, what we've seen in all the previous episodes of Simon um, not being good with people because he's really good with that family. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think he's just being himself, even though, like, he's acting as well.
That's a really great point. I didn't think about that, but yeah, he speaks naturally with them. He calls out how he's like, "This is weird. I haven't done anything like this before." 'Cause, like, he's like, because they think it's weird, and he's kind of, like, letting them know that he's with them, and, like, it's true. Even as he's questioned by other people that work there, he's like, "Oh, you look familiar," and he has a charming response.
Yeah,
That's true. I didn't pick up on that, but you're totally right. Like, he's almost let go of so much stuff that kept him worried. It's like he's out. It's like, of course, it's like you could look at the Wonder Man thing as like a gay metaphor or, um, yeah, anybody that feels like they've had to hide a part of themselves. But he's now well, he's not officially out, but we find out that he's willing to be out. He's willing to let the world know that he's a superhero.
yeah, and he does successfully break Trevor out of that holding facility.
He does.
Does he fly out of that?
He flies straight through the roof. I forgot. I want to circle back just on the speech from the line in the movie where Barnaby talks about they found a price for him. Simon had felt that way about Trevor, like because when he finds out that Trevor was keeping tabs on him and getting information from him, and, like, basically a spy for damage control. He's looking at Trevor that same way, like, "Oh, they found your price. You know, you're a traitor." What exactly makes him accept what Trevor did? It's the Mandarin thing. It's that man, like, he sacrifices everything to give Simon his one chance. And Simon finishes the movie and, like, he's climbed that mountain and he realizes, like, none of this matters. Like, the only thing that matters in this brief time period is that there someone there that had his back, and now he's gonna go do the same.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it for the series.
That's it
Uh,
for Wonder Man and Trevor, which is a shame. We're never gonna see him again. There's
I
no
mean,
way.
I was thinking about that, and, like, something you said earlier in this recording, like, sparked something for me. So, it's a good ending. It's a great ending.
It is, yeah.
If we never see Simon or Trevor again, like, it's a good ending.
Yeah, it is.
But what if a season 2 would be them as villains? Like, not as villains, but, like, they are seen as villains now because he broke like, the Mandarin out of prison.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
What do you do? Like, what, you're just on the run forever now? It's not like you can be actors. Um, I mean, story-wise, the path out is that Simon helps the Avengers save the world and is forgiven, you know? But I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
I
know
don't
what's
know, but I
I don't know, like, where they can fit these 2. Like, even if Simon joins the West Coast Avengers, what's Trevor doing there? How can we
he's
keep
a
Trevor
fight
around?
man.
Yeah, fine. He he runs the phones. He's just like, who cares? That's the thing. I want it to be that they can stay together. Like, they're as strong a team as what we've seen in the Marvel Universe. I'd love to keep them together, but how?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I think them as villains is a potential, like, avenue. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What other things could they do with those 2 characters, you think?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like they're on the run. There's nothing you can do. So that's Wonder Man. Now that it's been out for months and everyone's had a chance to watch it, there's no more excuses. Like you should have seen it by now. Sorry if we spoiled anything for you.
If you watch this without watching Wonder Man, I don't know why, but, I mean, maybe you like us telling you what happened.
You're
If
like,
so, we're grateful.
I want to know what happens. I don't want to watch it though. I feel that way about scary movies. I want someone to just show me with puppets what happened. Like I don't want to be scared. So if Wonder Man's too scary for you and you need two old nerds to talk to you about it, you're in the right place.
Yeah. We thank you for watching this video. But if you have watched Wonder Man, what'd you think? Let us know in the comments below. Um, and if you like this, give us a like. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button and become a subscriber. And we'll catch you all in the next one.